Hey everybody, that's Passport Bro Visuals. So the first thing is I want to say, shout out to Ice City. I heard he got scoped out there in sosua. I do wish him the best. I hope he gets better. He just move wisely, more so going forward. I hope the brother's okay and everything. So, there's that. Second thing I want to talk about is rello had a live yesterday, and apparently it's about he got scoped in Gary, Indiana. Now, we all know that's BS. I mean, it could happen, but the women who are setting dudes up, they not wasting their time with that. So I think if anything, he probably just tricked off a woman at worst, or he just really spending money like for a place or things like that. Food and clothes and things like that. I think that's really what he's doing with that $600 or whatever it was. I don't think he did it. I don't think he really got scoped out there. Like, if anything, they really would have just, robbed him, shoot him or killed him or beat him up. They wouldn't have wasted their time doing that to him, And he's trying to put the stereotype of, the whole scoping thing, on the U.S. when it does happen, but it's not like that. In those cases that do happen in the U.S., it's kind of somewhat big news because it's so rare to happen in the States. So that's what I think right there. So I think it's just BSing. I think he got the money. I'm sure he spent it. Either he still got it or got some of it, or he just kind of just spent it, which I think that's kind of what happened with him with that money. So like I say, Gary, Indiana, like I said before, last month I think unemployment, is 8.8% out there. So he's an ex-con out there too. So there's that. So that's pretty rough for him. So I think if he did trick per se off a woman, he just blew the whole probably $600 or whatever, $400. But I think what it is that he's probably gotten more so addicted to whoremongering than just going to these different countries and enjoying himself and having a good time. I think he's starting to get more into the whoremongering because he's a guy who he needs sex from a woman. And the issue with him is, like I say, he's an ex-con. You have to deal with yourself being an ex-con. You know what I'm saying? You have to deal with that. You have to deal with building yourself up. And part of that is, not having sex because, girls ain't going to mess with a guy who's a bum. You know what I'm saying? When a guy's a bum being lazy, it takes him longer to turn himself around because he's constantly being a bum. You know what I'm saying? So if he worked hard for the last 2 years, he'd probably be straight now. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's just whoremongering out there. I think he's, I think he's kind of become addicted to it at this point. And that's what I think he's doing, Ironically, like I said before, when he first went to, before he went to Thailand the first time, as far as like how his YouTube setup is, like, before he lost all his channels, or how he wants it, Thailand fits him the best, for that type of thing, I know that Gabriel Del Toro guy, he do the same thing too, but he's more smart about it, I don't too much really care for him, per se either too much, but I know he's smarter than rello, also rello don't do what he do in the real content, kind of like, or commentary, kind of like, Raise and Ways, personally. I think that's what he's messing up too, but, like I said before, last year when he took that Halloween trip, I don't really see the point of it because it's not other than the whole sosua, but it seems kind of pointless to take a vacation to, for a Halloween trip. It's just, I don't really see the appeal for it. I mean, like I said, my birthday is on October 24th. I mean, Halloween's this week. Like I said, I just don't really see the appeal for it at all, really. I mean, as far as like taking a Halloween trip, it's really just kind of weird to me. I don't really get it, but it's definitely a waste of money. You know, whether it's waste of time is it's debatable, but it's definitely a waste of money in my personal opinion. So, but yeah, I think he's gotten to a point where he's addicted to essentially the free sex. I mean, if you think about it, other than the situation in Kenya, he is per se trying to stay longer in these different countries, especially if they're further out, even some who are shorter, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to stay longer so he can get more women. And I do think between his videos, his lives, and his actual videos he do post, he's just running through them. He just running through them enough, get his fix, then he'll do his live, make it seem like he got a girl or whatever, and, just hanging out. Of course he'll give her too, But I really think that's what he's doing. I think that's what he's doing, blowing his money on these trips. The Thailand situation, I think, is unique going forward for him as far as his trips to Thailand, you know what I'm saying? I think, like, when he so-called went missing in Thailand after that first live, I probably think he was tricking, but I think he was really just going through it when it came to the drugs, per se, and I think that's what caught him off guard with the weed and things like that. People say it ain't really what it is. It ain't hitting on nothing. It's still weed and whatever other drugs that's so-called legal. I think he was running through it, and I think that's why he was kind of missing for those 2 days. Probably had a girl here or there. I think he was just really going through it with those, per se, with those drugs, I would say. That's what I think. And, yeah, but, that's kind of an outlier for him because it's like I say, he's going to go back. He's going to be tricking still, but I think he's going to be definitely using a lot of the drugs and stuff like that, But, yeah, like I said, the sosua thing is kind of a waste of time. And the situation with him in Ice City, I really think rello, messed it up on his part. Because like I said, like, if you bunking with a guy pretty much, sharing a hotel, clearly you ain't got the money. And clearly you are getting less money after his fiasco in Kenya. So he has to kind of build that up again, not just the audience, but the potential of getting higher amounts of money like he was before. So clearly you didn't have the money to pay enough money to really take the trip, as far as like whether you should take the trip. And also it shows that you probably didn't have enough really for your own spot, Because I really do think Keith is probably going to flip the bill for him and himself to stay together in Thailand, for however long. He probably paid something, and then he'll probably pay the rest consistently until they, kind of end that part of the trip, But like I say, he's getting less money from, from his lives. And, that's kind of where he's at. He's just kind of testing the water still and rebuilding that up. I do think he's getting less money, and I do think he probably needed Ice City, to kind of flip the bill or kind of do the whole, roommate thing so he can allow himself to trick, and probably get some more money off of a live and maybe, bring something off for him. But the way he don't take criticism well, because he knows he's not going to get back up to the higher echelon of the passport bro space again. He's just going to be with the low hanging fruit, and anybody down there that may criticize him that he cool with, he's gonna take it a certain way. He's gonna see them as the enemy, and he's gonna look at it like, oh, you don't really mess with me because you criticize him, or you criticize a certain point or whatever, and that's not the case. That's because he knows it's going to be a while for him to get back up there to the higher echelon of the space, and I ain't seen him talk to, K9 in months as far as on YouTube is concerned. I ain't seen him talk to him. I think it's been like 4 to 6 months, since I've really seen him talk to K9, and I'm watching K9 more and more recently. At least I'm checking in more, but I kind of did get away from him. But I noticed when I got back to it, I didn't really see Jay Rello, so that's what I'm thinking. I don't think they had a falling out. I just think it's just kind of moving that way. Like I said, he's building up his channel anyway. He's getting really good, getting better. I know he had some trip he wasn't feeling well on the following day or something. So, but yeah, he's doing his thing. I think Rello was just he's just fishing for chips, trying to see what stick. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think he's wasting his money, wasting his time. He probably is getting food stamps. You know what I'm saying? He definitely getting no unemployment. And like I say, guys like that, it's they live for the wrong things. And he's the type of dude that was getting a lot of sex probably before he went to prison and definitely after. And I think at some point as he was getting older, it just became harder and harder because of partly it's a generational thing, but also he's less, he's less productive, as far as for himself and to really provide for a woman, to let alone get anything. So this right here is an avenue for him to do the thing trick and get his feel. But I think that's what he was doing a lot of his lives, or a lot of his trips when he's not on the live or posting the video. He's just running through them real quick, and he'll do his live here, act like he had a shorty or whatever. He'll just kind of do that until he gets his next fix. So that's what I think. But I'm gonna check up on NYC the future. I think he's back in the States. Yeah, he's back in the States, and haven't been a while. It's been a little while since I checked up on him as far as seeing what he's doing and see what his plans are. He probably won't make a Halloween trip, but he may do something potentially for New Year's. Potentially, I'll just see what he's on. I do follow him and Rello, so I'm gonna try to see what he's up to. Also, I'll check on what's that guy's name? Floyd. See what's up with him, and then but yeah, my next video I'm gonna do on NYC. And, I'm trying to see what's going on with that. I'm still keeping up trying to see about potential live from O'Shea on his Kinganda channel too. So see what I can do to try to record something on that. And the last thing is I got away from posting my aviation videos. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna try to do something with that this weekend and definitely next weekend as well. To try to pull some strings so I can get back to posting that and moving forward, because that really did help my channel grow, and I do want to get back on that. So I just want to keep you guys posted on that. So I'll make a post about that as well in a couple of days, and possibly this weekend or something, and or close to this weekend. And I just keep you guys posted on that. So that really did help the channel grow, and a lot of support. Really do like that. So like those videos, so I'll get back on that as well. My plans is with that, when I do start traveling, I do intend on hitting different aviation museums in different countries. Let's say like Myanmar, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, even in Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? I want to hit up those places and show those, because that really was a big hitter for my channel, and the fans really did seem to enjoy that. So I'm definitely going to get that going. I need to apply for a tour with the National Guard Museum here in Minnesota. So I'm going to try to do that to see what they're talking about, and try to give them a call tomorrow. So, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.